Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Luxury. Today we are doing something super special, something I've been wanting to do for a while, which is reviewing some fashion shows, specifically the Paris Spring Summer 21 menswear shows. And this was the first one where they're doing it all online, so it's all videos presented by these brands themselves. And not everyone showed actual clothes in the video, so we won't be watching every single one, but we will be reviewing all of the ones that showed us some clothes. So let's get right into it, starting with Etudes, a brand that I'm going to have featured on this channel very soon for you. So the first look here is this really nice kind of lab coat with these cutouts at the sleeves. It's super fun, super playful, something new that I haven't necessarily seen before. It's a bit Raf Simons to me, maybe Rick Owens, something like that, but it's new. Doing it in the white gives it this medical feel, which is very nice, and then styled well with the cap, making it more street. So I like this a lot. Moving on, we've got this striped button-down shirt with a graphic on the back, again with the hat, the pink hat, and this one, it's nothing that new to me. I could see Supreme doing this, I could see Pleasures doing this, so I'm looking for something a bit more high fashion from this, and this just doesn't do it for me. This guy, it's hard to even tell what's going on, but I do like the pants. Those are very interesting, this kind of bleeding gray black jeans, I think. And here we get to see it more head on. It is this zip-up black jacket, and again, this is just kind of boring to me. I guess you can say it's interesting with the kind of exaggerated collar from the zip up, but just no. This is more what I like to see from Etudes. This shirt, it's a very playful, colorful, short sleeve button up shirt, which is very on brand for them. They have this wing off on one side going into the picture on the other side. Then they have this kind of marine serre second skin undershirt going on, which is very cool. I like that very much. So I'm looking for more of this, honestly. And then we get into some tailoring, and it's this, it looks like it fits really well. It's this beige gray suit going into these nice chunky black sneakers, which is a great juxtaposition. I would wear the hell out of this. And then again with a colorful cap, making it a bit more street. I love it. And then you've got just kind of a striped t-shirt. Again, Palace is doing this, Supreme's doing this, Pleasure's doing this. It's a whole lot of nothing. Then we get a graphic t-shirt, which is nice with the scorpion, except Ambush already did this with their Dark Forest t-shirt, so this one's kind of a pass for me. Next you get a button up here, a kind of African influences, which is really cool. I like that a lot, but they're not giving me enough to go off of here. And then last, this is maybe my favorite look of the bunch. It's this kind of tunic with an 8-ball on the back. So you've got this kind of classic style, especially it looks like some interesting fabrication within the streetwear graphic element, and that's everything that I'm looking for there. So they do end on a strong note, I will give them that. But overall, it just did not scream fashion to me. It screamed more streetwear, stuff you could find, honestly, in the mall, even below the Supremes of the world. So it didn't do much for me, unfortunately. All right, next up is CMMN Sweden, and right off the bat you can see we are in a better place here. We've got an actual runway where you can see the clothes head on and really dissect them. So we've got this really cool double-breasted blazer here, striped, and a bucket hat that covers the whole face. And most importantly, you've got these frayed hems on both the jacket and the pants, and then making it more casual with some sandals. This is really nice. This is really interesting. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic vibe, and it matches very well with the kind of wheat of the set, the coloring. It works really well. And then kind of modernizing it with this turquoise bag, also giving it some color. I think everything about this works, and I'm super excited about it. Then we've got another blazer here, and this time the fraying at the hem comes on the shirt, which is something that's been done a bit more, so I'm not as psyched on that one. And now we get something interesting. So you've got this kind of satin bomber jacket with this almost wheat looking embroidery on it, and then a kind of white crochet top underneath, again continuing with the sandals and the bucket hat. This jacket, it's very cool. The design doesn't really do it for me, but at least it is some way of elevating this piece. Next, you've got more of a kind of ready-to-wear piece, and this thing I could see flying off shelves because you've got this wonderful jacket. It looks nice and warm. It looks soft. And you've got this black patch with a heart cut out. Of course, you've got a lot of people out in the world now looking to kind of move on from the Comme des Garçons play thing. Maybe they're trying to refine their style a bit more, go a bit more luxury, a bit more refined, and this would be a great direction to go. So I'd say CMMN Sweden should lean into this because I could see it doing really well for them. Here we've got another blazer just in a different colorway. I'm hoping we can see something more interesting here. So we get into a jacket and it kind of looks vintage, again that post-apocalyptic feel, and this time some interesting fabrication going on. It has a very Japanese streetwear feel to it, which I appreciate, again with the crocheted tank top underneath, but overall it doesn't do a whole lot for me, although it is cool. Here we get another blazer and then the pants that would go with that jacket from the last shot. I like how they're mixing and matching pieces here for sure. And now we get something really interesting with this jacket here. So this is a very kind of Dries Van Noten feeling print, and I really love it. It's something really interesting. I would wear the hell out of it. And then also you've got this kind of tunic underneath with these shorts with fringe on them, and that is something legitimately new and very fashion forward to me. And here you've got just the crocheted top. This, I've seen Alexander Wang do things like this, so that's not that exciting to me, although it does look nice. A nice short sleeve shirt, very good for summer. And now a jacket in that same fabrication, and the pants with that embroidery there, again mixing the pieces. I do like it, looks like a drop crotch pant, that looks very good. And then this was probably the standout for me. So you've got that tunic underneath with the fringe, again love, and then this hoodie with the heart cut out right in the middle, and it's just a cutout to straight skin. And that is very wearable, very cool. I love the cut of the pocket. You've got this stitch right up here, so it's got a kind of handmade feel, some raw hems to it, and then this very accessible heart here. That's going to do very well for them. And then you've got some more of this embroidery here. That print again, very nice, a nice boxy cut on the shirt with a camp collar. I like that. And then we get now kind of a chore jacket in that same fabrication, and we get a close-up, which I do appreciate. And now we're getting a good look at those shorts. I love those. Those are maybe my favorite piece. And then we get a full body shot where you see that it is kind of a tank top tunic. I would personally prefer if they were shorts. And then we get a tank top of the embroidery. And that's it. So overall, some really interesting stuff here, taking in some Japanese influence, I'd say, some kind of earth tones, which is interesting for a spring-summer show, but the cuts were right for a spring-summer show. So overall, very interesting stuff here. All right, next up is Whi Project, and they are always doing something new, always doing something interesting, so I'm very excited to see what we've got going on here. So first off, we have a very street graphic look there on the right. Some interesting stuff. It's kind of hard to tell with the contrast. I like that belt though. And then this guy on the left, he's covered in snaps. It's a very interesting kind of sportswear look. And as they're going, they're playing with these, they're twisting them, doing those classic Whi Project things, changing the silhouettes and making them interesting. So they're pinning this guy up, making completely new looks out of this snap piece, which is maybe one of the most interesting parts of this to me. And now, obviously, as you can see on the left, they've turned the t-shirt into this kind of asymmetrical top. It looks very cool. They've taken out part of the pants. And now they're changing these things. They've brought a woman in and they're twisting her blouse. And you can see this guy on the left here. He's completely unbuttoned now. And they're creating a skirt for him, and they're creating this new kind of t-shirt for the guy in the middle. They're unzipping his pants. And it's really showing the versatility in these pieces. So you could buy just a couple of these pieces and potentially get 10 looks out of them. And it's just playing with my imagination in such an interesting way. And now you've got these pieces hanging off from this guy. Now he's kind of cream. You can see the guy with the snap t-shirt on. So we've got these kind of double t-shirts. And I will say, this woman on the right, very stylish look here. And now that t-shirt's coming off that guy. And the guy on the left now is... I love these pants that he's wearing. Those pants are incredible. The high-waisted pants, they're almost looking like a matador. And now the guy on the right, he's got a kind of sweatery looking version of this snap piece. I'm getting myself one of these snap pieces if it's the last thing I do. You heard it here first. And look at this collar that's going on the guy on the left here. So this is something that they do so well and that I love so much. They play with these classic silhouettes in such an interesting way. And now we've got some women coming on. And now they've snapped a hood onto this guy in the middle, and they're starting to put a tailored look together for the guy on the right, and I'm excited to see what they do with that. And you can start to see there's some ruching on that jacket on the right. It just looks off, but in a way that's right. And now they're tucking this guy in, things in here. He's got a polo shirt, but these kind of straps coming off of it. That look on the right is fantastic. That sweater, again, very accessible. So inside of all this craziness, there's some really accessible pieces here. And now this guy, he's got his polo hanging off and these kind of sport track pants going here. This guy on the right, again, looking fly as hell. And now we've got the tailoring coming in. So again, these ruched, twisted jackets, right? And that's what we're left with. That was an incredible video. If they'd done that on stage in a live show, it would have been just as powerful. So this is a way to do a video online fashion show right. Now we're moving on to an OG Issey Miyake. And you can see here, it's a very plain outfit in white. Those shoes are the most interesting thing I've seen so far, though. I do like that silhouette and a little black line going through. And you see some very colorful pieces on the left, and now he's getting in them. Some nice shorts, a nice jacket, nothing interesting, though, that I find. Again, very plain, kind of preppy looks, and it's not doing much for me until we get here where we've got this really colorful tie-dye, almost, and it's very fitting that he's jumping in the sky because it's kind of a sky pattern on there with this pleated dress here. This is wonderful, this coat. And now again, we've got kind of a plain guy here. Not very interesting. It's just not doing much for me, very plain. And now we get into the good stuff, this pleated suit. This is very interesting here, and this is what I want to see. This button down, it's long, this kind of wide thigh trousers that then taper in. Very nice. This jacket, it's nice, quite Japanese style. And then some more pleated stuff. This again doesn't really do it for me though. The pants are nice, classic Issey Miyake, but quite boring to me. This full suit, very cool, very playful, very fun. This jacket is my favorite thing so far. That neck is super interesting with this huge asymmetrical slit down the side. It looks very airy, very light, very playful. And now we get the kind of three of them, and they almost look like they are in an ad for a basics line of some kind. Like, this doesn't feel like mainline fashion. It doesn't feel like runway fashion. It feels like a starting point, and that's okay, but it's not what we should be striving for. All right, next up is Amiri, who didn't give us much. There was really nothing to go off of here. It was more interviews and kind of self-congratulatory blurbs, which I didn't love, but there's one reason I brought this up, and we'll get there in a second. So first, they do give us this look to look at here, and the jacket looks really nice, really wonderful, very stylish, kind of biker style that Amiri is very good at. The bags are completely uninteresting to me, super boring, and I hope I never have to see them again. But moving on, we get the shoes, and this is what I want to talk about. So you can see some sketches here. It almost looks like a prehistoric dinosaur bone version of an Air Force One, except you've got obviously Amiri in there, really bold colors. And this shoe is incredible, and it is going to fly off the shelves like hotcakes. I am calling it here. This is a great shoe, okay? And that's all we get to look at, but I just wanted to call out that that is a good shoe. All right, next up is Yohji Yamamoto, and it's almost hard to even judge this because it's all so layered, and any given single piece in this is almost grail-worthy in and of itself, but that kind of makes it even more worth going through. So the first thing we've got here is this great kind of weird lace-up blazer, nice and long, very cool. The hat, it's almost, does it have a feather in the back or something? I don't know. Interesting hat. Everything about this very interesting, very Yohji, and definitely going into this kind of rock and roll Dracula vibe, right? You've got these drawstring trousers as well, going into a graphic vibe on the t-shirt. Kind of Fear of God style in the drawstring pants, a lot of layering, some graphic stuff coming in, distressed hanging collar. This red piece is very cool right here. The undershirt with the coat over it with these kind of tuxedo lapels. It looks like silk lapels, as you'll see. So you'll see there is some fabrication listed in here, which is a very nice touch. I wish more people did that. These cross overalls here are very cool. Another kind of worker Dracula vibe. And now we're getting into some graphic stuff. This is very like Issey the Killer kind of thing. I love this red writing down here. Graphic on this side, graphic on the undershirt. A kind of very horror elevation of the Yohji stuff. Moving on, nice graphic pants. This the double-breasted blazer here is a bit weird to me though. That's not my favorite piece. Also, the styling is a bit Edward Scissorhands for me. Accessories, absolutely insane. No idea what they are, but I would wear them. Now we're moving into more of a white look, and again, it's got that kind of draped distressed sleeve there. Very nice. The pants look incredible. It looks like they're linen pants. Very cool little crossbody going on here with the graphic tee underneath. Very nice overcoat. A bit more of a plain overcoat though compared to what we've seen here and there so far. This with the military shoulders and this striking blood red with these buttons going down is a very nice look. I don't like the hat though. It's a bit newsy for me. This coat here, it's a bit been there, done that. Like I feel like I've seen this silhouette before. It's not as new as some of the other stuff I'm seeing here. Very nice coat here. Love these buttons, accessories going down. This coat is insane. I love the neck here. I love how many layers it has. It's almost like a flower of a coat. And I'm seeing a lot of this sleeve too coming down that I really like. It's kind of this theme that's coming back again and again. Nice, very graphic look here. And this hat I do like quite a bit. Bringing in the Adidas, because of course Yohji has the Y3 subline, so this is bringing in the Adidas in a way that works. This is a bit more of a now streetwear looking look here, but it's still working with linens and wools, much finer materials. This look, getting very graphic, getting very Raf Simons archive almost. You could see this getting thousands of dollars, right, on Grailed. But I like the lace-up cod piece, whatever that is. I don't love this. We're just going to pretend we didn't see this one. Now this is insane. It's kind of blurring with the look before, so it's hard to tell what's going on, but it looks like a denim overcoat with all these phrases all over in straps, and it's extremely striking, and I like this one a lot. This one, it's a bit of a kind of orchestra conductor vibe. I like the coat underneath. The blazer on top, though, I don't love that cut. It just, the way it kind of falls off after the lapels doesn't feel right to me, although it is interesting. This is a very cool coat, and now you're translating that falling off sleeve to the coat itself in an interesting way. So it's like a double lapel, an oversized lapel sleeve. Now moving on to Rick Owens, and it looks like Rick was diving into his archive for this one, which is a very rich archive, so I'm interested to see what we've got going on here. And you've got this kind of split screen with the looks and the studio setup. So here we've got a look with some very oversized shoulders. That's a very Rick Owens thing. But the coolest part to me here is those platform shoes. I love those. I really want a pair. Kind of reminds me of what Esther from what was it, Making the Cut, that Amazon show with Heidi Klum. Reminds me of those shoes. I love it. Obviously, the pants are a Rick Owens staple. I love those. This kind of asymmetrical hem with the pants and the platform shoes. And now it's kind of a draped super U-neck underneath with this blazer. The pants and shoes look like they're staying the same. I do like the neckline on that shirt quite a bit. Really crazy vest right here with the exaggerated shoulders, kind of like demon-esque, but all, like lifeguard demon maybe. Nice oversized blazer here. So these pants are staying the same. Now we're getting into some joggers with the drop drawstrings, which I love, and a kind of sheer shirt. Okay, shorts and now some boots. Interesting. I'm starting to see some repeated things, and obviously they all look nice. That jacket, classic Rick Owens. But at the same time, it's nothing new. You know, that top on the left is very nice. The jacket on the right is very nice. But I'm not seeing the new silhouettes from Rick. Very nice vest. This is my favorite one so far because now we're getting some color. This reminds me of, I think it was fall, winter 2014, that kind of earthy color scheme. Very nice here, especially that white on the shoulders I like quite a bit. I like the boots there. The look is very plain though. Moving on here, that's a very Rick Owens thing, the asymmetric shoulder. Now we're getting some kind of off-white chain link things. No, I take it back. This is my favorite so far. Those drop crotch tartan sweatpants are incredible. Okay, I love those. Ooh, very wide leg drop crotch pants there. So far I think I've liked the pants more than the tops. Interesting, we're back to the platform shoes. Another one with this cut of the neck. This is a very cool look. This is almost kind of a rock and roll, I don't even know what to call it. I almost wanted to go like Celine at Islamam, but no, we're not gonna put that on Rick, okay? And that's the end. So it was an interesting show, but I think more could have been done there. And that's it for part 1. We're going to be coming back with parts 2 and 3 very soon, so keep an eye on this channel, subscribe, watch this other video on screen here, like this video, and I'll see you next time.